The brain and the body are connected. This should not be a revolutionary idea, but it is one that most educators are just now beginning to wake up to, perhaps fueled by the misleading stereotypes of dumb jock or clumsy nerd. We have, up until this point, more or less ignored the brain body connection in education. I'm a special education teacher, and I started my master's journey because I observed a repeating cohort of students, mostly boys, with previously diagnosed ADHD and terrible handwriting, who were struggling with school, and they seemed to consistently perform differently than students with learning differences who didn't have problems with poor coordination. The literature confirms that 50% of students who would qualify for a learning difference would also qualify for a diagnosis of developmental coordination disorder. This is basically clinical clumsiness with symptoms continuing into adulthood. Despite a very large comorbidity, most children will never receive this diagnosis. In 20 years in special education, I have never seen it on an individual education plan, and 91% of physicians surveyed in 2008 had never heard of it either. The underdiagnosis is partly due to lack of awareness, but also the lack of an assessment tool. Clinical tools are expensive and not available in schools, and survey-based assessments are subject to human error. So where does this leave students? They're not disabled enough to access occupational therapy support and not coordinated enough to keep up with everyday tasks in school. My research explores the use of a robotic assessment tool to measure upper body coordination in high school students. I used the Kinarm robot designed and developed right here in Kingston by Dr. Stephen Scott, and the results were fed from the robot directly into a computer. It's quick and efficient, and the human error factor is practically eliminated. The results were then compared to more traditional school measures and scores. My study showed a moderate correlation between students who were good at a variety of coordination tasks and more traditional school scores. Coordination tasks included balancing a virtual ball on a bar, or hitting balls off a screen, or accurately reaching towards a specific spot in space. I compared those tasks with school scores like reading lists of sight words or measures of English and math grades. The correlation remained moderate even after controlling for speed. While correlation may not prove causation, this, along with a 50% comorbidity with learning differences, is reason to pay more attention to the connection between physical coordination and cognition. It could be that shooting baskets may actually help your reading and not distract you from it.